For the past few months, I have been haunted by the notion of the Frogman. See, when we were younger, my friends would always tell me stories about our little hometown legend. For years, I never really thought about it much, never really dove into it. Other than the occasional story from Ryan and Paul, it wasn't even brought up a whole lot. It was just an occasional, "Whoa, watch out for the Loveland Frogman!" But recently, I went on a bit of a deep dive, a bit of a rabbit hole, if you will. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot. So buckle up, strap in, because we're about to take you on the most wild 3-part YouTube series you have ever seen. Get ready, because over the span of the next few weeks, you're gonna see the full thing. This is Finding Frogman. That's a bar. That's a bar. Okay. See, to fully understand everything that's happening in the story, I thought it was best to bust out the trusty whiteboard. It's Frogman. Our story begins in 1955 with a man named Robert Unicott. So in 1955, Robert was just driving along the side of the road, running along the Little Miami River, an important location. So here goes Robert, driving on home from a business meeting, something along those lines. And he sees something on the side of the road, and he's not really sure what it is. Some people say it was under a bridge, some people say it was in front of a bridge, some people don't mention a bridge at all. But the through line here is that Robert saw 3 frog-like beings. Now, he said that, they were bipedal, stood on 2 legs. And this is interesting because, obviously, frogs don't really stand on 2 legs typically. He also described them as being roughly 3 to 4 feet tall. Again, not a common characteristic of most frogs. And what's really interesting about Robert's recounting of this tale is that one of them shot magic at him? Yeah, so according to Robert, he was, just driving along, saw these 3 big old frogmen, and he was like, it's kind of weird. It's not really normal. I should investigate. Gets out his car, he approaches the frogmen. He gets, maybe a couple yards away, and they start to kind of scurry off, and then one of them just kind of, grabs a stick and just pew shoots some lightning bolts at him. That's kind of wild. I feel like that's maybe even a bit of a stretch, even for a tale as silly as this. Our next sighting takes place in 1972, and this is interesting because there were 2 sightings in 1972, both about a week or 2 apart. And the 2 accounts in 1972 are both from police officers, one Ray Shockey and the other Mark Matthews. Now Ray, he was traveling along a road, most likely the same, if not very close in proximity road to the same one in 1955, and he saw something on the side of the road. He thought it was, maybe a little critter or something. He thought, maybe a little deer got hurt or something. And he saw it kind of moving around, a little squeaming a little bit, and he was like, "Well, I'm a police officer. I gotta keep this city safe. It's 1972. Anything could be out here." He pulls his car over, gets out the car. As we've seen by now, maybe not the smartest move, and we'll see it once more with Mark Matthews, but trust me, we'll get there. So, Ray Shockey, he decides, he goes out, checks up on the little critter. He gets, again, a couple feet away from it, and stands up and hops over a little guardrail on the side of the road. Jumps into the river, kind of, swims his way off. And this alone wouldn't really be that interesting of a find if it wasn't for Mark Matthews, 2 weeks later. See, Mark had a very similar story. He was traveling along the same road, cruising on down, going back to the station or something. And then he sees something on the side of the road. And he's like, huh, very interesting. Now, from what I've read, Mark wasn't entirely aware of Ray's report. And what he did hear of it, he just passed off as like, oh, well, old Ray's just making things up again. Now, Mark's encounter is very, very crucial and important to the entirety of the story here, because Mark shot the Frogman. The Frogman was lying on the side of the road. Mark goes over to it, very, very similar to Ray. He gets kind of close to it. Frogman gets up. He starts running towards the guardrail, jump on the river. They did before. But Mark decides, oh, it's something. It's moving. It's coming straight at me. I gotta shoot it. So he does. This is a very crucial part of the story. What happens next? I mean, he shot the Frogman. Did it just hobble away? Did it make it to the river? Did he kill it? What happened? And this is where, unfortunately, the stories vary depending on who you ask. There's many accounts that the Frogman was shot, kind of hobbled away, jumped into the river. But another prominent storyline is that once Mark shot it, he either killed it or paralyzed it enough for it to stop moving. So it dropped to the ground. Mark put it in the trunk of his cruiser and took it back to the police station. If he took it back to the police station, that means one of two things. One, they found out it wasn't Frogman, thus eradicating the entirety of the 1972's validity. Or, they found out it was Frogman, wanted to keep it under wraps, and decided to report it as someone's escaped iguana. Now, for the sake of our exploration in these videos, I'm not sure which story to go with. It doesn't matter too much right now, but as we go further, this plot point will come up again, so keep it in mind. So that's the summary of 1972. Oh, and another important detail I forgot to mention. Tail. Does the Frogman have a tail? See, in 1955, there was no mention of the presence or absence of a tail. It wasn't a notable descripting factor. But in 1972, it becomes all the more apparent when Ray reported specifically there was no tail. But Mark reported there was a tail. Again, adding to conflicting information and confusing stories that we will no doubt, in the second episode, flesh out. Then the Frogman kind of goes away for a while. 1972 happens, and the Frogman's just kind of solidified himself in local Loveland lore. It isn't until the wonderful, wonderful year of 2016 when a lot of stuff happened. But for the importance of this video, another Frogman sighting. The story of this one goes, local teen Sam Jacobs was at Lake Isabella with his girlfriend. See, Lake Isabella, for all intents and purposes, it's fairly close to the Little Miami River. 2016 is interesting for a variety of reasons, the two of which, one, again, Lake Isabella, not the Little Miami River, where the Frogman was most commonly reported. Then again, the most recent reporting before 2016 was in 1972, and within that large span of time, it's reasonable to assume that the Frogman, or frogmen for that matter, could have dispersed beyond just one river. But the other, more silly fact about 2016 is that Sam Jacobs encountered the Frogman while playing Pokémon Go. That's right. Your favorite 2016 game is an important plot point in the Frogman story. Now, believe you me, this is nowhere near the silliest news story that Pokémon Go has gotten itself involved in over the years. But it is certainly one of them. And you might be thinking, what on earth is the significance of Pokémon Go to the story? And to that I would say, Well, the Frogman looks kind of like a Pokemon. Point being, the story of 2016 is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, a little more shaky than the other three reports. Not only is A in a different location as the other stories, but B, the kid was playing Pokemon Go, a game notorious for its ability to distract you from the real world. So this is kind of the starter episode. We'll get more in depth as we go on. All in all, what we really have to gather here is that there's a bunch of conflicting details. There's only 4 major reports, all of which take place around the Little Miami River, of course, in the Loveland area. Wild, I know. So naturally, me and the boys decided to check it out for ourselves.
I'm kind of scared.
Honestly?
Nothing good happens to guys walking alone in the woods at night.
Especially hunting a god like Frogman.
Yeah,
What do we do?
mythological
I got the Pop-Tarts.
Nothing good happens, especially in ancient Rome. It doesn't really apply to us. I just feel like sharing.
I mean, this is kind of like the Odyssey right now.
Yeah, like, call me Odysseus.
Like we're walking around some pretty big ponds. It's kind of like the Mediterranean.
What's in there?
Oh, shiver me timbers! There's a sign.
There's a sign. What's the sign say?
There's an arrow. Right state.
Right
That's a
state.
That's a college. We're
Right
not
state
gonna
at Wilderness
Wilderness.
Pavilion.
We're not going to the Wilderness Pavilion.
Aaron,
Don't rip it off!
Trust me, I know my Frogman, and he would not. That's too obvious of a spot for the Frogman to hang out.
we need
True.
to go downtown.
He would not.
What is that?
What are you? What? Do you see?
Did you see that?
Not the red light, it's past the red light.
What is that?
Oh my, are you kidding? What the fuck?
How did that thing get up? What the
What the hell?
Up now?
How did he get up there?
Is that a goddamn turtle?
Oh my god.
How the hell did he get up there?
What is that?
Big boy.
Oh my god. Oh,
Hey, let's not get too close.
yeah, don't mess with him. He means business.
Wait, are you?
Holy
shit.
Do you see that?
Did you see that?
In the shadow. Holy.
Do you guys see that?
Oh my god.
Guys,
Oh,
one
stop,
sec,
stop.
guys.
Oh my god.
Behind that stop sign, is that
Oh my god. Is that
the Frogman? No.
the Loveland Frogman?
Slowly.
Don't spook it. Don't spook it. I can sense fear.
Stay strong, boys.
You're good.
I'm so scared. Oh shit, where'd he go? Oh my god.
It's the Frogman. Guys, we found the Frogman. We're approaching now. Oh my.
Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god! Go! imagine this isn't.
It's just someone right there.
It's not Paul.
There's a car down there.
It's not
Oh,
Paul.
holy shit. Unless he just doesn't know where the fuck to go.
Who taught the frogman how to drive?
We stopped him.
I think it's the frogman. You learned how to drive. It's the frogman!
Paul. That's a tree, not a frog, man.
You goddamn muck boy.
What's on? Wait, flashlight is not involved. What's on?
Just the running dude.
What's on?
Is that Frogman? Show me your penis! I see him!
Oh my god, Frogman is literally running away from us.
Look at little muck boy.
Little muck boy. You want to see his legs?
What did he find? What did he find? He's just peeing. He's just taking a piss. Take a little leak. Frogman was here.
Hey, let's bubble.
The Frogman was most certainly here.
That's deep.
The Frogman is known to bubble.
He's bubbling up. That's frogman waters right there.
This is giving me called.
I'm gonna go find out who truly bubbled that water.
Paul, is that you?
Paul, stop barking.
There's a hole to grab. I stopped it.
Yes.
There is people. No! Because it's robbed them. Look out.
Lights out. 5.
He can't exist. There's no way.
You don't think Frogman's real?
No, he can't be real. What do you mean?
I think he is real.
Frog in the tree in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Frogman's been here before.
You're so small you had to step on the log. You can step over it.
It was for the vlog, bud.
Bro,
It's so bad, Drew.
It's very mucky.
We are traveling through the muck right now.
My thighs, they're like. My back. It's so bad.
It can't be real, guys. Like, yeah.
He can't be real. He's not. There's no way.
You don't think so? We think there's something over there.
What, Paul?
There's a water bottle.
Struggle.
Can't be real.
It is a nice water.
Paul's arc through the video is that he's in denial that Frogman exists,
Until
and
we
then
find it.
and then we find him, and he's the first to die.
I didn't hear nothing. I thought I heard. No, they can't be.
Paul, you just refuse to believe that Frogman exists.
Do you hear that?
There's something out in the water.
You hear that?
Let's go on the dock. Bro, really think he Frogman with that stick right now.
What?
You not hear that noise?
There's something out in the water.
Probably just a drain or something.
Safe.
Aaron,
You threw my stick in the water.
Aaron, if he gets you, I'm not letting you. Well, I mean,
If you fall in, I'm not getting you out.
This does not feel safe.
No.
We're gonna fall through any moment.
But there's nothing in the water. Like, just get in. It's fine.
Then you get in if it's fine.
Jump in right now.
Then
Well, as the murky.
There's nothing in there.
So murky.
It's so mucky.
It's very mucky.
Right? Nothing in there.
I just want to
There's
die.
nothing in there. There's no.
The frogman's in there.
There can't be a frogman, Gray. He's not real.
He is. You keep saying that. Wait till we find it.
He's not.
Is that the Frogman? You can sense it?
He was here.
They were all here.
All of them.
You know, all of who?
Oh my god. I see it now.
There's no.
This was the center of the Frogman.
No, it's just a fire.
This is where he was born.
Wizard man.
This is where they come from.
This is just a fire, bro. What are you talking about?
This is where they cook their food. Of course. Why would they keep a fire right next to the place?
Okay, I think for lore development, Jesus Christ.
That wasn't there. That wasn't there.
That wasn't me.
What the shit? He bro's over there. That noise came from there.
It was just a stick falling.
Yeah, it was just a stick, guys.
Yeah.
It was just a stick, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Right? I mean, it couldn't be anything else. Am I right?
Unless it was a Frogman.
It could have been Frogman.
Who put the water bottle up?
I didn't put the water.
I didn't put the water bottle up.
We brought a water bottle?
Who did?
No, it was here.
It was laying on the ground earlier.
I thought it was over here. I wonder if I can hit it.
Why is there muddle over it now? What is that stuff on it? Guys, it's just the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would never be anything more than the wind, right?
Let's go back to the cabin.
Yeah, we should start heading back to the cabin, guys.
It's
Our work is not done here.
Let's recoup in the morning and we'll see what we can get from this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try to like enhance it or whatever.
What was that?
Alright, let's keep moving.